name is Ezekiel. Hope you are doing wonderfully. In today's video, I will be talking on what does oversampling do for us during our recording, mixing, and mastering. How do we engage oversampling? The benefits of oversampling in our audio production. And now let me just brief to you how does oversampling work in DAW nowadays. Oversampling is a tool that enhances your audio production by processing the amount of your sample rate. For example, when you're using 44 kilohertz, it's going to double that to become 48. And if you're using 48, it's going to also multiply that to become 96. Meanwhile, you don't have to be scared of using higher sample rate anymore. Now, another thing that is more beneficial is that, like previously, because of the phase issue that were occurring using sample rate, because when you use oversampling on higher sample rate, it causes artifact and result in phase issue when you are doing a playback. But Cakewalk Sonar has done a great job working on the algorithm to make sure plays and rendered in real time without having any issue anymore. Now, I'm going to be explaining to you briefly how the oversampling works and what it does in this one. So let me walk you through the settings, the function, how it works. Now, I have a project here that I'm working on and that I'm using for this demonstration. And so I have this plugin here. Firstly, on the dashboard here, you have to first enable the oversampling button. After doing that, then something that I will need to show you, you go to the settings here, come down to oversampling. By default, you are going to see oversampling already set to ×2, which is going to be 192 because I'm using 96 sample rate. And one beauty of this one is that Sonar offer you oversampling up to ×16, which is above the regular ones out there if you love to go by higher setting of oversampling. Now, you're going to see ×2, which is 192, and so on and so forth. And another thing which I'm going to be showing you is that before you will be able to feel the effect, you have to come to oversampling, then you enable for playback and enable for rendering. That means when you are playing back, you'll be able to listen to the effect and the character of the oversampling, which is fantastic for us. That's about that. And another thing that I'm going to be showing you is the precision. The precision is the function that enables you to apply the amount of your sample rate on your audio processing. By default, it's in medium, which is what Cakewalk Sonar has offered us. So fantastic if you want to go by that. During the video, I will tell you some things which you may really have to go for and the one that you may really not have to go for in this one. So that's about the introduction of the oversampling. Now I want to enable the oversampling for all of the plugins that I have in the mix. What I'm going to be doing now is that, firstly, for me to enable the oversampling for all of the plugins, what I'm going to be doing is, because I won't be able to open the plugin one after the other, so I have to do this one. The trick here is that I'll have to highlight everything. By doing that, I have the guitar is okay up to this one, that I have the plugins that has oversampling enablement. I think that's all. Now, after doing that, I'm gonna press down the control button, double click on one of the plugins. So I'm opening Lindell 80 channel series. Then after that, I'll go to settings, oversampling. Then first thing I'm going to do is I want to enable the sample rate for playback, and I also want to enable it for rendering so that during the playback I'll be able to have the effect of the oversampling in my mix. Then while enable for render will allow the oversampling to render along when I'm rendering the final mix. The first thing is that I'm still pressing down the control button so that it will apply to all of the plugins that I have in the mix. So I'm doing that now, then enable. That one has been enabled. Then I'll go back to that, settings, then oversampling, enable for playback by clicking also. I already enabled for playback and for render. Now, how do I know that my oversampling has been applied to all of the plugins? So this is very simple. Now, what I'm going to be showing you is that You just only need to place your mouse cursor on one of the plugin, so it's going to bring out the details. Now take a look at this one. Open Linde 8 channel, latency 0 ms, 52 sample, then oversampling rate is 192.0 kilohertz, audio processing, blah blah blah. That's what it analyzed for me. But while something which I need to tell you depends on what you want and how it sounds like to you, you may not need to enable oversampling for all of the plugins on every of your mix. You may need to only do for master mix bus or for your drums or for all of the buses alone. You may not want to do the same thing on all of the channel strip in the mix. So, but I choose to do this one. So now let us listen to how this one sounds like. I will do the A and B of the oversampling on it. And now before I continue, if you're watching me for the first time, please, I want you to smash the subscription button and click on all notification buttons so that you'll be aware whenever I upload new videos. And at the end of this video, if you find this video useful for you and you're enjoying what you're watching, please don't hesitate to thumb up for me for YouTube algorithm, and remember to drop your comment below what you feel about using the oversampling. Okay, now let's try to do A and B of the oversampling on this track now. But I want to listen closely. So I already playback, so I'm going to be turning off oversampling button. So we will listen. So let's compare with the A and B. I want you to listen closely now. Okay, that's A and B of the oversampling on the track. If you have listened closely, you will see a kind of energy in the transient, also the crispy and the smoothness in the audio production of this track that I'm playing while I first turn it on. So this is the character, this is the role the oversampling is playing. It enhances the quality of the audio output of my mix. So if I'm using a 44 kilohertz sample rate, that means oversampling is doubling that one to enhance the quality of the audio output. What I'm going to be doing now is that I want to show you the other function in the oversampling. So let's see what it's doing for me. And right now, if I come to the precision is already set at medium so that it will just add a subtle to the audio production that I'm listening to. Now I want to turn it to the higher or the highest so that we can hear or feel the impact of the oversampling on the audio. So let's do that now. So I'm following the same procedure on everything. So while I first turn on the oversampling button, then I'm going to this place. I want to use the highest right now. So that's going to apply to everything. So let's just confirm that. So one of the advantages of using oversampling is that it's going to add more strength, energy, and the character of all of the plugins that are used during your mixing into the transient by doubling the characters of the plugins that you've used in your mix. All right, now, so let A and B of this one now, while the precision is set to the highest. that's the oversampling that you've just listened to with the precision set to the highest. Okay, let me quickly explain what really happened there. So if you have not listened closely, when I bypassed it, the audio production sound a bit scattered, dried, and not in focused. But while it was active, the audio production sound more focused, more glued together, and more smoothing than the way it was sounding without being active already. All right. In summary, that's about using oversampling. So something that I will need to tell you here is something that I would love to make you understand is that number one, if you really want to use oversampling with the higher sample rate, you have to be running a good and proactive system for you to be able to enjoy your mix, because in otherwise you'll have to be freezing some tracks so that you can have a smooth playback to enjoy the oversampling. And the advantage of using oversampling, for those of you that have been panic or that also love to use a higher sample rate, but because you are being afraid of the larger files that is going to be generating or that occupies your storage on your computer. But if you're using a 44 kilohertz, when you set it to times 2, that means it's going to give you a 48 kilowatt sample rate, and which is more better for you, like the people that are running 48 in a regular way. Or if you're running your audio sample rate at 48, so if you double that, that means it's going to give you 96 sample rate, which is going to be the match for I that I'm using 96 sample rate in a default standard. The more you are doing that, the more the oversampling is going to double the character. That's the beauty of oversampling. So that's where I'm going to be stopping for now. So I want to drop down a comment below. Have you been using oversampling? What is your experience using oversampling during the recording, mixing, and mastering? So drop down a comment below. So let's keep the conversation go on. That's where I'm going to be stopping for now. I hope you enjoyed this video and you find it useful for you. So if you do, please, I want you to thumb up for me, and also don't forget to drop your comment below. And if you're watching this video for the first time, please, I want you to click on the subscription button and smash the all notification button so that you'll be aware whenever I upload new videos like this next time. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. See you in the next video. Bye.